a boosting signature win against Ohio State earlier this season.
A new career high. A new Iowa women's basketball record.
Very few athletes can transform each game into a spectacle, but Caitlin Clark makes it look effortless every single time. With her breathtaking plays and history-making performances, she has redefined the game. We're counting down the most iconic moments of her career, the unforgettable games that elevated her from a promising rookie to a true basketball legend.
The Indiana Fever select Caitlin Clark, University of Iowa.
Starting off our countdown at number 5 is a standout regular season showdown in Indianapolis on August 16, 2024, a game that had Caitlin Clark's signature all over it. The Indiana Fever faced off against the Phoenix Mercury, and what unfolded was a masterclass in dominance, grit, and record-breaking performance. Clark came out on fire, dropping 13 of her 29 points in a scorching first quarter. By the half, Indiana had surged ahead with a commanding 28-point lead, leaving Phoenix struggling to keep pace in a game that felt over almost as...
With a spin and a lay-in. Indiana with the fourth fastest pace of play, and that's...
In the second quarter, Clark seamlessly transitioned from scorer to floor general, showcasing her elite playmaking instincts. She carved up the defense with precision passing, racking up assist after assist. By the final buzzer, she had tallied 10 assists, securing her 10th double-double of the season and further cementing her status as one of the game's most...
Clark is red hot here coming out of the Olympic break. Indiana comes up with a turnover. Here is Clark. This time it's Smith with a foul.
Sensing an opportunity, the Mercury mounted a furious comeback, chipping away at the huge deficit and briefly seizing a 1-point lead. For a moment, the momentum had clearly shifted, but Clark remained unfazed. With poise and precision, she steadied the Fever and orchestrated a decisive 12-3 run to end the third quarter, punctuated by a clutch buzzer-beating 3 from Katie Sampson that reignited Indiana's control of the game.
Mitchell with 5 seconds left. Cross-court Clark. Does Clark see the clock? Handoff Samuelson. Who buries a 3? Samuelson beats the buzzer.
Clark closed out the game with calm command, steering Indiana to a statement victory and etching her name into the record books. She became the first player in WNBA history to notch 50 points and 25 assists across a 2-game stretch, a milestone that further solidified her place among the league's all-time greats.
On the list is Smith. Clark cutting. It's Mitchell with the finish. And 9 seconds to go. Taurasi will dribble it away. And for the first time in franchise history, Fever have beaten the Mercury for 3.
What made this game unforgettable wasn't just the stat line, it was how Clark responded when the pressure was on. As Indiana's massive lead began to slip away, she stayed calm, took command, and delivered when it mattered. It was the kind of clutch performance that marks the arrival of a true star, and just when it seemed like Caitlin Clark couldn't raise the bar any higher, she did exactly that. 2 weeks after a record-breaking night against the Phoenix Mercury, she was back under the spotlight on August 30th as the Indiana Fever faced off against the Chicago Sky. What followed was one of the finest performances of her rookie season. Clark poured in a ruthless 31 points, powering the Fever to a dominant 100-81 victory, but the game didn't start off that way. Indiana stumbled out of the gate, quickly falling behind 21-9. With momentum slipping and the offense out of rhythm, it was Clark who stepped up and...
Well, she's definitely taken that golden advice, recently being the first WNBA player that has recorded consecutive 20-plus points.
Clark kept the Fever within striking distance, calmly taking the reins of the offense. With sharp decision-making and flawless execution, she dictated the tempo, made the right reads, and found her rhythm. By the end of the first quarter, she had trimmed the deficit to just 3 points, turning what looked like a shaky start into a manageable.
The guys are making
90 seconds left to play here in the first quarter. Looking for Reese. Back that leg tips it away and off and running. Caitlin Clark wins a pass.
Clark opened the second quarter with a statement, burying back-to-back deep threes that electrified the crowd and flipped the script. In a matter of moments, the momentum swung, and just like that, Indiana was back in command, fueled by the spark only
Working
Clark
it around here for the Fever. Good ball movement on this possession. Logo shot. Logo make.
Seemed like Clark had already hit her ceiling. She came out of the halftime break even stronger, draining threes, pushing the tempo, and injecting the game with relentless energy.
Hi. Caitlin Clark running things. 8 assists, 15 points in the first half. Looking to add to her.
Her passing was equally precise, With pinpoint accuracy, she threaded assists through the defense, setting up her teammates an ideal scoring
Out of the game with 4 personals, Diamond DeShields has checked in, trying to defend Caitlin Clark. Smith, 1 foot runner.
With the game firmly in control by the fourth quarter, Clark sealed the deal at the free throw line, sinking 10 of 11 attempts and adding the finishing touches to an utterly dominant.
Tripped up! And a new career high for Caitlin Clark.
That night, Clark made history, becoming the first rookie in WNBA history to record multiple games with at least 25 points, 10 assists, and 5 three-pointers. This wasn't just another eye-catching stat line, it was a statement that Caitlin Clark wasn't merely leading the rookie class, she was already playing like a superstar, but Clark's rise to stardom began long before she was lighting up the WNBA. Coming in at number 3 on our list is the game that truly thrust her into the national spotlight. On March 16th, 2023, she delivered a legendary performance that propelled Iowa to a thrilling 97-93 win over Louisville, scoring Iowa's first 7 points and instantly taking command of the game's tempo.
What we're going to see tomorrow night from Ohio State. But Louisville, a terrific defensive team as Clark wheels around, evades Van Lith, and drains it. My goodness. She got an IV because she's been so sick before that UCLA game. That's how sick she was. Clark! She's possessed. Here's Clark. Clark pulls up another deep one. Is good.